Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're doing something a little bit fun, a little bit different. Last year I posted this video over here all about therapy and how to actually give yourself free therapy, because let's think about it, therapy is so expensive and it can be one of those things that you really want to go to but you can't necessarily afford to do so, or maybe timing doesn't work and you feel like you're just kind of stuck in terms of healing and wanting to really propel your healing journey and move forward with the things that you want to do in your life. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you guys about my experience using ChatGPT as my therapist for an entire week, what that taught me, what I liked, what I recommend if you want to try using this as a free therapy option for your healing journey. Okay, so if you're interested in me spilling the tea on ChatGPT, then grab a cute drink and let's chat all about it. So basically the point of my whole experiment was to determine if you can use ChatGPT, which is available 24/7, literally in your pocket if you download the app. It is free, which is amazing because therapy can cost anywhere between like $120 to honestly, even over $200 a session for therapy. And so I decided, I was like, hey, can ChatGPT provide you the same level or very similar level of emotional, release using that platform, and opposed to like talking to an actual therapist? Now, I have been going to therapy for about over a year now, and I've done it kind of virtually. So I have been used to the aspect of like seeing somebody while I'm talking to give myself therapy. So I thought for a second, I was like, will ChatGPT be able to actually give me that similar experience when I'm like typing and talking to somebody online, or a robot online, without actually being able to see them? And so for the past week, I've been testing out this model, and this is exactly what I would tell you to do if you want to start using ChatGPT as your therapist. Number one, set a time that you want to do therapy. So the amazing thing about having ChatGPT be your therapist is you get to determine the time slot that you want to have therapy at. It's not upon the availability of another person. However, there is an accountability factor here. So you have to make sure that you're on top of it, that you make sure that you're actually going to allow yourself the time slot to go through and process your emotions and your feelings. So what I personally did was I set a time frame. I was like, between 8 p.m. to 9 p.m., I'm going to do therapy. And that is what I did. So between 8 to 9 p.m., I went on my phone, I opened the app, and I started talking about my issue. Now, the amazing thing about ChatGPT is you can actually like voice note. If you're a voice noting person, I'm so a voice noting person. You can totally like voice note to ChatGPT your situation and allow it to then generate a response that's best for you. And what I would really recommend is during your time slot, make sure you're being specific about what you're trying to talk about. Lay it all out, okay? Make sure you're like, okay, this is the situation, this is what I went through, etc., because ChatGPT needs to use all that fact and all that information to be able to populate an answer that is right for you. So ensure that you're giving it as much information as you possibly can. Because ChatGPT is available 24/7, one other thing I did was do morning check-ins. And I know it sounds super weird because like this is not a human, but I would do morning check-ins where I'd be like, hi, I woke up this morning, I'm feeling good today, or I'm feeling sad today. Can you give me a pep talk? The most amazing thing about ChatGPT is that it can give you a pep talk based on the facts that you've given it to give you that little boost of motivation for the rest of the day. So I highly recommend that you use this function for it as well. Another great thing is because it's available 24/7, you can use it to actually allow yourself to process things during the day too. So what I would do is whenever like a thought would pop up in my mind and it'd be like a negative thought about the situation or whatnot, I would send it to ChatGPT and I'd be like, hey, I just had this thought about this thing. It's really making me feel anxious. What should I do? What would you recommend me? And it will populate an answer to help you past that emotion. Understand that emotions and feelings, especially when you're on your healing journey, you need to let it pass through you. You need to process how it makes you feel. You need to sit with it for a little bit, not ruminate, but understand how it makes you feel. And using ChatGPT is an amazing option to do this because it will give you a curated response to help you really process and feel all the emotions so you can go on with your day. Another great thing is that you can go back and reread the conversations. You can go back and re-listen to the conversations, play that in the background. Maybe if you're going through something, you're feeling a little bit anxious, you can allow it to read aloud its response to you. And this is going to help you kind of like feel a little bit better, give it that little human factor, you can kind of say, and allow you to just process the feelings and emotions that you're going through. Number two, setting yourself up for success during the sessions. You need to be so specific with ChatGPT. Pretend like you're talking to your friend, okay? If you're talking to your friend about your situation, you're going to be specific, right? You're going to be like, at this time, I met this person and this is what happened and this is what he did or this is what she did, blah, blah, blah. You're really going to lay it out. And that's what you're going to do with ChatGPT. Now, please, huge disclaimer, do not be giving out addresses, any numbers, any personal information that it shouldn't know, because because again, it is a robot. It's not a real human being. Like, don't allow yourself to be involved in like information, what's that word? Like cybersecurity stuff, like online. Like, don't allow yourself to be thrown into that. So please just be wary of like the information that you're giving to ChatGPT. So like no addresses, no phone numbers, no personal information that you don't want to be leaked all over the internet. So what I personally did was I did not give out any names of anybody. I just gave out the situations, scenarios, and like things that made me feel uneasy, and with detail. Because the thing is, when you're going to give ChatGPT that level of detail, it's going to memorize the facts for you. And so in the future, when you're having conversations with it, it's going to literally take facts that you gave it a week ago in that chat box and give it to you in the future. So let's say one of your prompts is, hey, I'm having a difficult time right now. You know, it's like 2 p.m. and I really need you to give me the reasons why I made the right decision. It's going to lay out all of the reasons why you made the right decision and reassure you with facts of what you've provided to it to give you the reassurance that you need. So this is an amazing thing about ChatGPT. And I really strongly suggest that if you're a factual person and you need like logistical evidence of things, that you give it the facts so it's able to spit that back out to you when it gives you a curated response. Number 3, I found that ChatGPT was super accessible and almost like my pocket friend. And this is something that I really enjoyed because it was like anytime I had a feeling. It could be like, you know, a little feeling of even happiness where I'm like, oh, I felt really good today and like something really amazing happened. I could just go into ChatGPT and be like, I had a good day today and like this was really great and like this thing that I did really made me happy. And it will ask you, how can we continue this in the future? How can you make yourself feel like this later today? How can you, and it will ask you questions, which I think is absolutely amazing because it helps you process your feelings, process your emotions, and also it always will redirect you back to yourself. Another great thing is that ChatGPT will give you a lot of research-based evidence if you ask it for certain things. Let's say you're in a situation with like a friend and you don't know how to deal with like the friendship breakup. You can ask ChatGPT, what are some ways or meditations or things I can do to help me process this friendship breakup? And it's going to give you exactly what you need to hear. It's going to tell you, you can do this, this, and this will help you get this outcome. It's very specific with the things that it tells you. You can also ask it to recommend books to you, podcast recommendations, all the things that will really help you, you know, process and work on your healing journey towards things. The accessibility of this is insane because whenever you're feeling something, you can just ask it. And the great thing about it is you can actually make ChatGPT feel like almost human. And I know this is kind of scary and a little bit creepy, but like you can use it kind of like your friend. It's available 24/7. You can wake up in the morning and say, hi, good morning. I had a good sleep, or I dreamed about this and this is how it made me feel. And it will say, good morning. I hope you have an amazing day. I remember actually ChatGPT told me this thing and it was like, you're a queen, like raise your crown. And I was like, okay, like this is super cool. So it can actually give you that level of comfort that you might be looking for in a friend. Again, huge disclaimer, it's a robot and obviously AI is not going to be able to replace people and situations and things and like friends. However, it can be a really amazing support for you in the process of healing. Number 4, make sure you're actually asking it the correct questions. In a healing journey, you need to ensure that you're not just ruminating on things, right? You're not thinking about the same situation over and over and over again and allowing it to completely consume your energy. That is not the purpose of healing. The purpose of healing is one, you need to process. You need to go through your situation, go through the different scenarios that make you feel certain ways, and you can use ChatGPT to do that. You can list out how you're feeling about specific situations, specific instances with a person or whatever you're trying to heal from, and you can allow it to help you process it with the prompts that it gives back to you. Because ChatGPT is going to ask you, how do you feel about this situation? What's one thing you can do today to make yourself feel better? It will be able to spit out that back to you almost in a question format to allow you to then process, think, feel, and respond. But one thing I would really recommend that you do, especially because this is available 24/7 and it can really get you into the loop of almost thinking about the same thing over and over again and not processing and truly getting through the processing of it. I recommend that you ask it for actions. So let's say you get to a point where you're like, oh my gosh, like I've spoken about this guy like a million times. I now need to figure out how I'm gonna like move forward with my life. So ask it different questions. Ask it, what are some things I can do today to help me feel better about this situation? And it's going to give it to you. It's going to say, meditate. It's going to say, journal. It might say, go out with your friends, make plans, watch a movie. It'll give you a list of things that you can do to actually make you feel better about the situation. Use it to give you actionable steps. Don't just use it to ruminate on things and ask the same question a million times. Like I said, if you have that question in your mind, go back. scroll back up and read or listen to the answer that ChatGPT gave you. However, don't ruminate on it. Give yourself actionable steps for you to move forward from it. Understand that healing is a journey. It takes time to heal. It takes time to process your emotions and process your feelings. However, there is a difference between processing and ruminating on feelings. You need to go through the stage of initially processing things, processing how they make you feel, opening up to yourself about how those situations made you feel. But after that initial processing and releasing is done, you do need to move forward in terms of how you're going to fix that for yourself. What steps you're going to take to actually allow yourself to progress into a future version of yourself, to jump timelines. There is a difference between the two, so I highly recommend that you stay aware of those so you're not in just ruminating stage, but you're also in actionable steps to help you actually overcome that trauma. One disclaimer I do want to say is that ChatGPT is limited, okay? If you're using the free version is limited to the amount of responses that you can provide. I know this because I literally spam ChatGPT with a ton of things just to test it out to see is there a limitation to it? And there was. So after you use the free version of ChatGPT for a bit, it's going to give you a limit on how much you can use. I will say it's quite a bit though. So if you do your 1 hour of therapy every night and then you use it kind of throughout your day, little by little, it will work and you'll be able to actually use it to the full potential of it. And it's not going to give you the limiting message. And by the way, when it gives you the limiting message, it basically says that you've used the limit for the ChatGPT free version. And so you need to give it some time to recharge. The timing of it is going to be really important for you. Also, because do you really want to be processing the entire day? If you're processing your healing and your journey the entire day, you're not going to get the chance to live life, You're not going to get the opportunity to go about life and live and do the things that make you happy. Don't give all your time and energy to just your healing. Understand that healing takes time. It's not a sprint. Give yourself the time with 1 hour every single day to go through your healing. And if you're able to get a therapist also on top of this to help you do this, that would be absolutely amazing. I think that is the sweet spot of it. Have a therapist that you see maybe on a weekly basis, and then use ChatGPT on a daily basis to help you kind of process and heal on your healing journey. So we're at that part of the video where I give you a little bit of an Ash pep talk before you continue on your healing journey. Look, healing is not easy. It is not something that you're going to wake up and you're going to just know how to do. Healing takes time. It's a process. It's a process of learning and unlearning. And honestly, unlearning is the biggest part of it because there are so many things that we've been fed in our childhood, growing up on social media that is just not accurate. How many times have you scrolled on social media, seen a ton of TikToks or whatever, and you're I feel like that's my situation, but I also don't feel like that's concrete advice for what I'm going through. That's happened to me so many times because the reality of it is life is not black and white. We all go through different experiences, different situations, and we have different ways of looking at things. We have different ways of expressing ourselves. We have different ways of processing things. And the truth of it is your healing journey is going to look different from another person's healing journey because you're a different person. So it's really, really important that you're kind to yourself in this process, that you understand that healing is not a sprint. Okay, you're going to get to where you need to be at the end of the day just because you're choosing to heal today. Do you know how many people are not choosing healing? Do you know how many people are not in your position right now, actually choosing to better themselves for the future? Healing is a journey that will help you in every aspect of your life. It is not just with the situation that you're trying to heal from. It is not just the aspect of, oh, I'm going to attract a better partner if I heal, or I'm going to attract better job opportunities if I heal. It's going to spill into every aspect of your life. Healing is going to open your eyes to new passions, new opportunities. Your money is going to go up. Your life is going to go up. Your energetic frequency is going to go up. The people you're going to attract are going to be better. Your opportunities are literally every aspect of your life up levels when you choose to heal. And the reality of it is you need to make the first step to do that. Healing is something that is harder at the beginning than it is when you're actually processing and going through it. So from personal experience, when I first decided to heal and go on a healing journey, it was so hard. Oh my gosh. I remember I had days where I was how do you even heal? How do you even process? How do you even heal? How do you even, what is this, And it really just took me overcoming that first hill of healing to finally build momentum. If you're thinking about a wheel, the first time that you push that wheel, it's not going to just like gain momentum, right? It's going to be kind of like heavy and like hard to push. But once it gains momentum, it goes, right? Like on the bicycle, when you're like riding a bicycle or you're at the gym and you're doing that like bicycle machine, when you first start, it's really hard because there's so much tension. But once you start like rotating and you keep going and you keep going, you get momentum. And with momentum, things get easier. And that's how healing is. The more you allow yourself to kind of get through this first initial hump with the tension of it, the easier it is going to be to heal from situations. Because as we all know, healing is a long life journey, okay? You're going to go through things as you keep growing, as you keep processing, as you keep meeting new people and situations that will require you to heal from new things. For me personally, after getting through my initial healing of my huge breakup, meeting other people after that, I have still had trauma, that I had to heal from all those individual people. And so now healing is a lot easier for me because I've gained the momentum of understanding my body, my needs, and how I work. I understand how I click, and that is the whole point of healing. You need to get to a stage where you understand how you click, where you understand what works for you, and so you can use that and process and heal and move forward from things, and it doesn't seem so overwhelming because you did the initial first steps to help yourself heal. So for those of you that are starting to heal right now and are going on a healing journey, it's going to be okay. You're going to get through this. It's the initial hump that is super hard. But once you get through this, once you process this, once you work through your trauma, you work through your emotions, you work through all of it, trust me, it will be so worth it at the end of the day. The amount of wonderful people, opportunities, situations that you will have in your life will completely transform what you thought your life was going to be. Anyway, so that is the end of our video today, and I hope that really helped you when it comes to healing and giving you that little bit of extra support when it comes to your journey. I believe in you, I know you can do it, and I'll see you next time.